UFC 285 is in the books, and what a card it was, with the landscape of MMA shifting on its axis from the very top and bottom weight classes of the sport. After what was a spectacular card in Australia, many fans didn't know if this card would live up to the hype, as it was stacked from top to bottom. However, it lived up to the hype and then some, so let's take a look at what happened. This is the Fight Franchise and the recap and review of UFC 285. The early prelims featured 5 fights with 3 decisions and 2 stoppages. The first fight, Loic Radzhabov, would win a decision to start off the card. Then Farid Basharat would keep his unbeaten streak going to secure a decision win and go 10-0. Tabitha Ricci took her UFC streak to 2-0 with a hallmark brilliant UFC performance. She would be brilliant in the octagon and secure a brilliant armbar finish to show she could be the real deal at strawweight. Cameron Simon defeated Limona Martinez in a majority decision win to keep his unbeaten streak going. The early prelims saw the future of Irish MMA Ian Garry secure a brilliant TKO victory at the end of a great 3-round fight, where Ian Garry showed brilliant improvements in his overall game and striking. This was a brilliant start to the fight card and things would only go up from here. The prelims would be fantastic and saw some comebacks and guys elevate themselves in the divisions. The prelims began with an absolute banger on the feet between Marc-Andre Barriault and Julian Marquez in a fight where they beat the crap out of each other. They would throw bombs throughout the first and second round. Towards the middle of the second round, Barriault would take over the second round, landing big shots and back Marquez up against the fence, where he would land vicious punches for a good minute and a half, and the ref would jump in for the stoppage and Barriault would secure the TKO victory. Amanda Ribas would secure a brilliant unanimous decision win, dominating Viviana Araujo to get back to winning ways and hopefully get back on that streak she showed in her early UFC career. Dricus du Plessis and Derek Brunson had a brilliant back and forth war, which has shifted the rankings and what is going forward in the middleweight division. In what looked like a replica of Brunson's fight versus Cannonier, Derek Brunson started the fight brilliantly in a back and forth first round, and Brunson would dominate most of the round, with brilliant wrestling with du Plessis having flashes of brilliance on the feet. The second round saw Brunson fatigued and du Plessis taking over the fight, with big shots and getting rocked all over the cage, eventually going down towards the end of the round, with du Plessis beating a defenseless Brunson and eventually finishing the round on top. Everyone thought we were getting a third round, but Brunson's corner threw in the towel. Du Plessis moves way up in the middleweight division and is on a brilliant streak, closing in on a title shot. The end of the prelims saw Cody Garbrandt up against Trevin Jones, with most fans watching this with bated breath, scarily anticipating Cody Garbrandt to get finished. Fortunately for Cody Garbrandt and all his fans, he put on a measured performance and never got reckless, dominating Jones for most of the fight, with measured striking and looking much better since his move with Dewey Cooper. He would get partially rocked towards the end of the fight, but it seemed like Cody has his mojo back. Let's hope he can put on a comeback for the ages and get back the title. The main card would be amazing and rivaled the last UFC's main card. It started with a unique fight with up-and-coming prospect and wrestler Bo Nickal taking on the experienced and tough Jamie Pickett. Bo looked like he wanted to show off his striking, but would secure a takedown in the first round and dominate and smother Pickett with brilliant top pressure. Bo Nickal would put a squeeze on Pickett for a good 2 minutes and eventually secure the submission win. It seems as if the Bo Nickal hype is paying off, and for him to put on a dominant performance on a huge main card shows the level he is at and shows the future is bright for the collegiate wrestler. Jalen Turner was originally supposed to fight Dan Hooker, but after a hand injury to Hooker, short notice Mateusz Gamrot stepped up for the fight. This fight would be a great back and forth fight, which was a close fight with Turner dominating on the feet and Gamrot dominating with the wrestling. Turner would piece up and rock Gamrot on the feet, and when Gamrot was in trouble, he was able to dominate Turner and take him down. Gamrot would eventually win a split decision in a close fight, and I wouldn't have been opposed to a draw on this fight. It wouldn't surprise me if these two fought each other in the near future. A potential future champion, Shavkat Rakhmonov, would take on his toughest test in Jeff Neal. Shavkat and Neal had a back and forth war in a brilliant fight which showed us the level Shavkat is at. Jeff Neal would be brilliant with his hands, using great boxing to piece up Shavkat. However, Shavkat used his varied striking with kicks and knees to show he was levels above Neal. The fight was looking like it was going to a decision, with Shavkat getting his hand raised, but after being stumbled by Neal, he would come back and wobble Neal and go for a takedown, which Neal stuffed, and Shavkat would secure the standing rear naked choke. The hype, the unbeaten streak and finish streak continues. Let's hope we see Shavkat in a title eliminator soon, and Jeff Neal in a brilliant fight with another tough contender. The co-main event would see Valentina Shevchenko take on Alexa Grasso, with Valentina a huge favourite, as when she has faced anyone at flyweight it has felt like a lamb to slaughter, but with the close last fight with Talia Santos it showed Valentina was human. This would give Grasso confidence, with many fans and pundits saying Grasso had the advantage with her hands when it comes to the boxing range. Grasso would piece up Valentina in the exchanges with the hands, but Shevchenko was able to take down Grasso and dominate on the ground at times, with Grasso getting back up showing brilliant heart. The fight was back and forth and very close, and in the 4th round Valentina threw a spinning back kick, and as Valentina's back was turned, Grasso did a brilliant back take and got Valentina down and would cinch up a rear naked choke, and the most dominant champion in current MMA streak was over. This was amazing. Grasso is now the 3rd ever women's flyweight champion, and seeing her achieve her dream was beautiful, especially the fact she was the 1st ever female Mexican champion, showing what is possible for all the girls in Mexico, and that it's not just the guys who can make it at the highest level at combat sports. She deserves all the flowers and respect even more, due to the fact she beat one of the greatest, if not in some people's opinion, the best female MMA fighter of all time. The main event saw Jon Jones finally make his long-anticipated heavyweight debut. With so many questions going into this fight regarding ring rust, will he be able to hang with the heavyweights, and would he be able to take on the new breed of heavyweight in Ciryl Gane? The fight was looking like a disaster before it started, with the commission stopping Jones getting in the octagon before the fight, saying he had to take off the tape from his foot, and then 10 seconds into the fight was hit with a brutal nut kick. None of this deterred Jon Jones, who in 1 minute took down Ciryl Gane, and 1 minute after the takedown cinched up a guillotine choke. This was flawless by Jon Jones. He defeated what was considered by many his hardest test in the heavyweight division in what looked like his easiest performance. He is now one of 8 UFC fighters to win 2 championships in 2 divisions, and has swept aside any doubt around his greatness and his status as the GOAT in MMA. He is most definitely in the conversation for the best pound for pound fighter on the planet right now, and definitely the greatest MMA fighter ever. Overall, this card was amazing, and is going to be one of the contenders for Fight Card of the Year. With 1 or 2 underwhelming fights, but some standout performances, and every main card fight being entertaining, and a monumental upset in the co-main event, and seeing the GOAT 100% crowned, this card ticks so many boxes. If we were to grade this card, it gets an A. I keep saying it after every review this year. It'll be hard for the next pay-per-view to top the last, but it keeps happening. With UFC London coming up, let's hope it delivers on this level, because if it does, we are going to get one of the best crowds of the year, and potentially one of the greatest pay-per-views ever. Did you enjoy the video? Let us know down in the comments below. What did you think of UFC 285? Put that down in the comments for me. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more fight content coming up soon. If you enjoy football, check out the Football Franchise, our football dedicated channel covering the Champions League, Premier League and much more. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.